Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. Poland has taken a historic step towards energy transformation, signing a 200 billion zloty agreement with a US consortium led by Westinghouse and Bechtel to build its first nuclear power plant. The Engineering Development Agreement, EDA, marks a critical milestone in Poland's push for energy security, sustainability and independence. Joining us now is Wojciech Wrochna, Deputy Minister of Industry, to discuss what this deal means for Poland's energy future and its deepening strategic partnership with the United States. Mr. Wrochna, thank you very much for taking the time and welcome to World Talks.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Pleased to have you here, sir. Talks about moving Poland towards nuclear power have been going on since the 1970s. And then we had Chernobyl and various other things. But essentially, even all the political parties were aligned with this. What's taken so long for something tangible to arrive?
Thank you for this interesting question. Probably there are several issues that are making this process being so long. We started to discuss seriously construction of the first Polish nuclear power plant around 2011. We really started from scratch. We had no legislation at that time. We had no regulator. We had no company that could start the process of development of the first Polish nuclear power plant. And until 2015, there were many different stream of works developed. And then around 2015, 2016, at the EU level mainly, we end up with the discussions that renewables is the future of the energy sector. And then for some period of time, it was a very difficult period to develop nuclear. You may remember the EU taxonomy that was trying to exclude nuclear from financing. And then around 2021, we decided to go for nuclear because we have a very clear justification. We are in a situation when it's extremely difficult to meet the demand only from renewables. We have EU policies that are making us obliged to phase out coal, phase out gas. And nuclear is a solution, so we need to have it. But this is a very complex project, probably one of the most difficult you may imagine in the energy sector, and you need to prepare it very, very well. So that is why it's taking so long.
It's taken. Understood. Now, you mentioned coal-fired energy sources. For example, you mentioned renewables. How much of Poland's total energy requirements do you expect nuclear power to provide going forward?
It depends. The first project we are developing is 3.7 gigawatts of installed capacity in nuclear, but it's the first one. We're also thinking about a potential second localization for the second nuclear power plant. So the total installed capacity could grow up to 9 gigawatts in nuclear. And in addition, we're thinking about developing small modular reactors. It is a different type of the reactor, much smaller, but it can still have a capacity of around, depending on the type, between 200 up to 470 megawatts, so still a relatively large units. And if we construct, around 10 of this, maybe more, it will add another 4-6 gigawatts of installed capacity in the nuclear by 2040, 2045.
Right.
So it's a substantial number of nuclear.
It certainly sounds it. Now, it's, as you say, a very complex process, very complex project, but you need the people with the skills and know-how and so on to manage it, to actually allow it to operate efficiently and effectively over time. What needs to happen in terms of training people for those roles?
It's actually one of the most important challenges because, as you have heard, we have signed an agreement with the American consortium, Bechtel and Westinghouse. But we need trained people first to project the plan, so for the detailed design. We need the workers that will be working on the construction site. And finally, we need to build skills to operate the nuclear power plant. So we're working very hard with the companies involved, working very hard within the government to try and persuade people to go to the universities, to study engineering, to study nuclear business. There is a future in nuclear. There are well-paid jobs. I mean, on the one hand, we are really happy that we see sort of a nuclear revival in Europe and worldwide. But on the other hand, it's a big challenge because if all our neighbors will construct nuclear power plants like we want to do, then we will start the race for talents. And we need to be working hard to get them here into Poland. It's a very global business, so we are not limiting ourselves only to Polish workers, but we are looking for bright talents outside of Poland. And yeah, we're sure we succeed.
Understood. Now, how much urgency has the reliance or the war, the invasion by Russia of Ukraine, how much urgency has that and the threat to oil and gas into Poland has been placed on the development of nuclear power in Poland?
First of all, already back in 2014, we have decided to decrease our dependence from Russian gas supplies. The first Tusk government has decided to build LNG terminal. Then we have also constructed Baltic pipe. So these are the routes of diversification for the gas supplies. And in addition to that...
And was that because of the invasion of Crimea by Putin?
No, it was much earlier. I think that in Poland we haven't been naive and we had this sensitivity. And we knew that Russia can use gas supply as an instrument to political influence. And that is why we decided to switch to gas from Qatar, gas from the US. And this is why we have constructed LNG terminal in Świnoujście. This is why we have constructed Baltic pipe. And this is why we are currently constructing a floating terminal in Gdańsk. This is all to get rid of Russian gas supplies and become independent.
Understood. Now, tell us about the money. I think everyone's very interested. Who's paying for all of this?
Polish government has secured 60 billion of Polish zloty, which is around 15 billion euros. As an equity injection into the SPV, Polskie Elektrownie Jądrowe. This is the company that is responsible.
SPV is special purpose vehicle.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So this is the company that is developing the project. And this 60 billions is the equity part of the total cost of the project. 30%, another 70% will be provided by the financial institutions through the form of a debt. The total cost, as you mentioned, is 20 billions. Yeah, that's the final cost. And who's paying for that? Of course, the money comes from the budget, but at the end of the day, it's a taxpayer or the one that is using the electricity from the future nuclear power plant that is paying for this. But we're doing this to guarantee the security of supply. The nuclear power plants can deliver stable, dispatchable, zero-emission energy to Polish household and to Polish industry. And you pay 200 billions Polish zlotys upfront, but then you can have cheap energy for 60 or even 70 or 80 years.
And cheap, you mean cheaper than the energy bills that most households are paying today?
Yes, we have very detailed calculations that are showing that if you take all the costs of the electricity delivered to the grid, but also the system costs, I mean the grid, the electricity from the nuclear power plant is competitive, so the price will be lower.
Understood. Now, in the last minute or so that we have left, Deputy Minister, what did the EDA, the agreement that was signed yesterday, what did that actually say?
It's an agreement between PEJ and the consortium, Westinghouse and Bechtel.
And PEJ is?
And PEJ, Polskie Elektrownie Jądrowe, so the investor in the nuclear project. This is an agreement that the scope of the agreement is a detailed design of the first Polish nuclear power plant. So based on this agreement, first of all, Bechtel and Westinghouse, together with the investor, will sit and provide the detailed design that will help us to get the construction license and finally start, after so many years, the construction of the first Polish nuclear power plant.
So all the pieces are now finally in place for the bricks to be laid?
There is still a large EPC contract ahead of us, but by signing the agreement yesterday, I believe we are on the right direction to deliver.
When do we expect electricity actually to be in the grid from this power plant, or these power plants?
The schedule is still 2035 for the construction works to be concluded, and 2036 as the first year of delivering electricity to the grid from the first Polish nuclear power plant.
2036?
2036, so 11 years from now.
Only 11 years.
Yeah, it's very challenging, but we're working hard, and I'm confident that we can do it.
Understood. Well, we look forward to that. Deputy Minister, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away, though. Lots more coming up. Bye-bye.